Okay, we're rolling.
Oh, hi there. How's everybody doing? Welcome to C Mind Society. I'm Chaz Rodgers. I'm here with Cam. What's up, Cam?
Nothing much.
What's happening, everybody? It's me and Cam here hanging out, talking to shit, spitting the shit, shooting the shit. You shoot shit? Where'd that phrase come from? Who was sitting around shooting the shit? Shooting the shit. So welcome to C Mind Society. Pretty much the whole gambit here is that we're trying to help everybody. Me and Cam, right, Cam?
Exactly.
We try to help everybody get a little closer to where they want to be in their life. All right. I'm a former bum. I've been fully rehabilitated. All right. I did a whole 12 steps? A whole 12-step bum program. You know, I came out of it. I'm 4 years bum free. So it's a great accomplishment I had. I was a bum and I was ruining everybody's lives around me. And now I've been bum free for at least 4 years now, and it feels good. Feels good, guys. I want you to come join me in free bumdom. Bumdom. I think I used that word before, and it sounds like butt sex stuff. Bumdom. All right, yeah. Let's stay away from bumdom. So Cam's been joining me on. So if you hear Cam's voice, hop in. Just because Cam doesn't want to put a camera on, so you'll just be looking at me while Cam talks. So just let's do it together, guys. We'll just
the voice
sitting.
of God.
Right. Oh, so hey, that's what I'm gonna do for now. Every time Cam speaks, I'm just gonna look up and like, who's saying that? All right. So today, first off, man, I just want to say the feedback that I've gotten from people, and look, it hasn't been a whole lot, but it's been solid, and the feedback that I've gotten from people has been super dope. And we're growing, right, Cam? We're growing.
Exactly.
And it's been like really dope and encouraging that people have a lot of good things to say about the podcast, because I know it's not a usual way of trying to quote unquote have personal development. I really hate that phrase. I just feel like getting your shit together is what I would call it. Like, what kind of book should we got to get your shit together? That's what I would call it. But, I'm a dummy, and this is how I talk to myself, so I break everything down like how I can relate to. And I'm a very simple person, man. I'm so simple. I was even looking at a video game review, and I was like, what are you saying, man? Just break this shit down so I can understand. Like, the game's dope. You know what I mean? Or the game sucks. Like, come on. I ain't got time for all this. I'm a very get-to-the-point kind of person. I hate movies that take forever to explain some shit. This shit could have been an hour shorter. I'm that kind of guy. I'm like, straight to the point. Let's get to the shit. Let's bounce. Okay? So that's kind of me. All right? A little round up on me. Do you think so, Cam? Does that sound right?
I mean, yeah. I hate it when things drag on. I get that.
Right. And it's like, we ain't got time for that shit, guys. Come on. We got stuff.
Especially in this world. There's so much content someone's going to skip away.
Yeah. I'm like, let's get to it. So usually, hey, I do go on tangents, all right? But the tangents are the fun parts, all right? So stick with me. I'm a rambler. Well, I'm a rambler who gets the point. Shut up. You know what I mean. All right. So today we're talking about how to build self-confidence. You know, we should start doing music after every time we say the title, right? Should be like, I don't know, something. We'll figure it out. How to build self-confidence. So a little bit about me. I'm a writer. I write on some very small television shows you probably haven't heard of, but watch Bounce TV so I can keep feeding my daughter. Okay? All right? Okay? Specifically. Family Time and In the Cut. Specifically. I said it right. And, yeah. All right? And then I'm a stand-up comedian also. So nothing's going to test your self-confidence more than stand-up comedy, guys. I don't know what else is out there to test it more than that. But when you can get on stage and people can just look at you blankly while you're talking, just spilling out your heart, and that'll test your confidence, guys. And you go, yeah, anyway, so, hey, women be shopping, huh? All right. Okay. I had to test your shit. So building self-confidence, man. I really think that there's a see, because to me, self-confidence is really easy. But I also had some very supportive parents, you know, and I think that's one of the things that kind of help people with self-confidence. Of course, they're having people who root for you until you can go do anything, you know. But I know not everybody has what I had growing up. And I know that it's very hard for people to feel that. I have some close friends of mine who I think deal with, depression and confidence issues in general, and I think they come and go. And I have some very successful friends who I know who deal with getting down on themselves and not feeling like they're enough all the time. And I never understand. I'm like, are you serious, bro? You're writing for this. You're writing for this hit show. I see you're doing it. Like, people do amazing things, and they don't always feel great about themselves. And so sometimes we can see somebody and we're like, this doesn't make any sense, but it's so common that people achieve these great things and feel awful. All right. So here's what I think. This is only my opinion. This is only what I go off of. This is just from the stuff that I've read and tried and, some things I've seen other people do that I think help build confidence. So I think there's 3 things that really impact self-confidence. All right. Well, first, of course, is happiness. And I think there's 3 things that break down in happiness that I think. Okay, this isn't some doctor who said this stuff. This is just stuff I've compiled and what I think. Okay, so you're trusting your self-confidence to a maniac, guys. All right, my whole job is to make dick jokes. I get paid for that, so that's what you're listening to right now. All right, so I think your love life, your family, and your work are the 3 zones that if one thing is off, it'll bleed and affect the other, right? But I think these are things we spend most of our time with, right? You're married, who you're dating, your specific love life. If that's great, you'll be happy. If you love what you're doing, work wise, if you love it, if you're inspired to go there every day, that'll help. I think that keeps you happy because that keeps you going. It gives you that drive. It gives you that thing to live for. That's your work, right? And then there's your family. You always want your family to be good. When somebody's sick, somebody sucks. There's some family members that suck, man. There's some family members who stress out the whole family. Some of you suck out there. Some of y'all are horrible family members. Seriously, some of y'all suck. All right? Some of y'all need to do better. Okay? You drag your whole family down. You may not know it. You Some people have no idea they're the one everybody hates. Okay? But you're out there. You're probably watching me right now trying to think how to get your shit together. It's probably you. It's probably you right there. Stop stressing everybody out. All right, so love life. Yeah. Mm-hmm. This is hard, man. The love life is the hard one because when you break down, my whole thing about picking a mate, I'm married. The whole thing about picking a mate to me is just how honest can you be with this person? That's how I break it all down. How honest can you be with this person, and how can you take their honesty back to you? All right. There's a lot to unpack in a marriage and a loved one. But I'm like, here's how I'm feeling right now. Here's the blunt. It's never a place of animosity. I'm feeling like this. This is exactly how I'm feeling. This is what I'm thinking. What are your thoughts? I think this, I think that. And you guys should be able to have a civil conversation honestly. But I think most people don't because they don't want to hurt somebody's feelings or cause an argument or some other dumb shit. But a few tough arguments help your marriage. Even like a few hard conversations are going to save you guys so many arguments and stress later on.
That was a better word.
Right? That was better, right?
Well, because there's a difference between an argument and a conversation.
Absolutely.
Not everything has to be. I hate when things divulge into an argument.
I can understand if you're upset and you're coming in hot, but I know me when I'm upset, I'm like, hey, I need a minute. I need a moment because I feel like yelling. I can feel my ears are hot. Right, my jaw line's getting tight. Like your triggers, right? And I go like, I'm triggering. I'm getting angry. Let me go step away. Let me get my thoughts together. Sometimes I write down my thoughts because I got all these thoughts at the moment. I'm like, let me write this shit down, and then I read it and I'm like, let me not say any of this stuff. Let me just get this out.
I'm the worst. I'll have an argument before I even see the person, and then all the energy will be gone, and I just won't want to talk about it.
It is like, yeah. But we do that though. I do that all the time, and then I'm like. Oh, but then you don't want to talk about. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Getting over that.
Yeah. Now you gotta have that combo. But to get that first instinct out of like that animosity, that energy that you built up, and that because that shit would come out if you're having an argument by yourself. That's a good thing because you don't want to have that argument with somebody else. But you're like, all right. Now out of that bullshit, I just spewed at nobody, right in the car. Let me take what I really meant. Because then really that's what an argument is. Just like, really, what are we trying to say? What are the words I'm trying to say?
Because then you come down, you think about it more, and then you pick better words.
Right. Listen, I was feeling hurt, and my emotions were. My feelings were hurt because you said that you don't like the weight I gained. Right. That's what I go right now. That's my argument with myself. So I talk to me. I don't like the weight you gained, fatty. All right, take a walk. But that's not how I would ever talk to my wife. All right, so love life. Being honest, man. And look, I don't know if you guys are dating. I think like this. So I really do think like marriage counseling helps, because it helps people who don't know how to like talk to each other. I really think it's a good thing that. I don't think that a marriage counselor is supposed to be a mediator at all, but I think people try to win marriage counseling. I think they're trying to be like, see, it's all her fault, right? Huh? You know what I'm saying? You see what I go through? And it's like, it's not a competition, buddy. It's like people don't know how to necessarily like speak to each other in a way. And I always tell my wife, I'm like, listen, this is exactly how I'm feeling. This you're never gonna have to question if I'm hiding some shit. If I'm upset, I'm gonna let you know this is what I'm upset about. Like this is this, and this, and then like let's fix it. Like that's the idea. But also, I think that people have to know if you really love somebody, it's coming from a loving place. Hey, and some people just say you're in relationships you shouldn't be in. Some of you just shouldn't be in there. Get out. Get out. What are you about to say, Cam?
No, I was gonna reiterate what you just said.
We'll reiterate it.
I forget what you said.
I moved on pretty quick. All right, so I think that's like love life, all that good stuff. Your marriage, who you're dating, and you know, with my wife, if you're like, be honest with yourself. Also, if you're gonna be with this person, be with this person. But I had made a plan for us. I was like, so look, here's my plan for us. Okay, here's like, tell me what you think. But I was like really serious, and I'm like, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to accomplish. This is how much money I want to be making. This is what I want to do with it. I told her like my whole plan, like with her included. What do you think? What do you want to do? What other things? Like I did that. You know, I mean, I really like took it seriously and was like don't bullshit yourself with someone else, guys. You know what I mean? Don't bullshit. Just be honest with yourself. Be honest with the other person. Stop that shit. Okay? Just stop it. Be a man about it. Grow up. Or a woman about it. Stop playing people. Or just be honest from jump. Just be like, hey, I'm going to go smash some other cats while I be dating. And let them make the decision. Because there's some people who are down. I've been surprised. My wife wasn't one of them. I did ask. All right. I think your family, right? So listen, I've said this many times. Cam's heard this before. I don't necessarily think that relatives and family are the same thing. Okay.
No, I agree with that.
There's sure as hell some people I'm like, yeah, we're related by such and such, but you can't be involved in my family. I purely get to pick and choose my family. I feel like that all the time. And I'm like, there's no discussion. If you're out, you're out. That's it. Have you had those tough combos with family, Cam?
Not yet.
Some are coming.
I mean, not necessarily. I don't have a ton of extended family that I'm in a relationship with. A lot of it's just my immediate siblings, my mom, and like that's the family.
People you like.
Yeah.
People you like and love. Yeah, I think like because there's family that I love that I don't like, just for sure. But they haven't done enough to me where I'm like, we can't talk anymore. But there's a couple I'm like, nah, man, we ain't even cool like that, homie.
Yeah, I'm not at that stage with anyone yet.
But don't be afraid of it when it comes. Sometimes it sucks, though. Yeah, we're supposed to be better than this. But that toxicity, I don't need none of that. All right, and then the work. So I think the work is the other part of happiness. Like, there's a lot of people who hate their jobs. And I get it. I've had many jobs I hate. I used to do telemarketing. I loaded luggage. I used to work for a moving company. I've been fired from a lot of jobs, guys. What else I used to do? I used to coach, right? I used to coaching was actually a dope job. I had to quit that one. I used to drive trucks. What else? I used to deliver shit. I used to do all this stuff. I used to work for UPS. Hated that. I was a supervisor. Hated that. Yeah, somebody hired me to be in charge of people. You believe that? Hated it. So I really don't think that finding a job you love is that hard. You gotta first follow your interest. People always saying that well, how do you find your passion? Do a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Right? Do a bunch of shit, see what you like. And then my whole idea is all right, I like doing this. How can I make it better? Go ahead, Cam.
Well, in this day and age, you can make money pretty much doing anything. So whatever makes you happy, find a way to turn that into a stream of income. But the flip side of that is when your passion becomes your work, you may end up hating that because it becomes work. So you have to be careful on how you go about turning whatever you're really into a stream of income. Because there's going to be moments when you're not making any money.
Yes. Especially in the entertainment business. Yes, definitely. I think that was very, very insightful, Ken. I think that's a big thing, too. Because usually when I'm done with it, I need to go move on to something. And I'm like, I'm not having fun. And I go everything by fun. That's my whole gambit. It's what's fun? Once this podcast stops being fun, I'm out. You know, hopefully we're 800 episodes in. But once it's like stops being fun and it becomes like, because like no matter what you're gonna do, it's gonna feel like work. Like there's gonna be days you're like, all right, let me get through this. You know what I mean? But that definitely means it's not fun. Like I have fun. I have fun writing. I have fun performing. I hate this aspects that you don't like. Like I don't like the traveling part of doing stand up. I don't travel well. I get motion sickness. You know, so for me, the performing is great. That keeps me going, but the traveling is awful.
You need a private jet.
I need a private jet, guys. All right, I need way more likes and subscribers to get this private jet. But even like writing, man, like I hate the actual typing of writing. Like that whole aspect, like if you're writing a script and I have to sit there and do outlines, like I actually hate that part. But being in the room, being on the floor, watching things get recorded, like but it's all very fun. So there's actually like aspects of stuff that, you know, I think it's the same with anything that you see a dream job. There's aspects that person probably doesn't like about it all the time, you know. But you got to find some stuff that you really, and I'm not saying find some stuff that you're like super passionate about. Like you got to, because there's things that you can do that in your hobbies that you can do passion. Like you can go volunteer. I know people who volunteer for like animal shelters and stuff like that because they love animals. It doesn't have to necessarily be your job, but like you have to go do something that fulfills that need of like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Yes, that's super important.
Right? You gotta.
Well, you have to separate. You have to step back because if you're always working, you're going to end up, again, what I said, hating what you do because you're just doing that. Yeah,
and like having multiple interests, of course, is like a huge thing. And you can't obsess. Like there's like I had got called a workaholic before, like some years ago, because I'm definitely not now. But I haven't been called a workaholic before. And even like when I was studying what a workaholic was, you know, I thought it was people who are like, what's wrong with being passionate about your work? But once it starts affecting, you know, the other aspects, when you're putting yourself or your work above your family and other people that you love and stuff like that, you know, of course, then it becomes damaging and you're hurting more people than you're helping, right? So that's the idea from what I read, summed it up as a workaholic. Because I thought a workaholic was a good thing. And I was like, oh yeah, you should be out there working your ass off. And I was like, no, all you want to do is work. You probably don't like your family as much.
Typically, there's something else going on.
Absolutely, always. It's like that's the hideout. You're like, let me go get away. No, I gotta work at 2 a.m. Yeah. I saw this guy. He did like he was a what are the guys who do the dead bodies? He was like he like, you know, embalmed dead bodies and shit like that, right? What do you call those guys? Come on, Cam. Come on, Cam. Give it to me.
Undertaker?
Yeah, like that. There you go.
Mortuary scientist?
Yeah, mortuary scientist? Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like a Frankenstein shit.
Oh, that's what he did.
Yeah, he wasn't he?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, anyways. But yeah, that was like one of the things, like this guy, and he was just like talking in an interview, but like, he said his family was like, he was obsessed about like just working on dead bodies, and they were like, "What's happening?" And then he was just kind of like, "I lost the passion for my work, and I forgot why this was important, and it's to make other people's funerals amazing, make them, you know, giving their loved ones a wonderful send off." He's like, "That's why I got into this." So he started breaking down, and I was like, "All right, yeah, like who you doing it for? Like who are you doing this for? Why are we doing this?" And I said that before too, like follow your why, man. You always got to know why you're doing something. And once it stops being fun, once it starts getting old, like get out of there.
Or take a break, take a step back,
take a breather. But don't stress yourself about some shit. All right, so those are the ways I think you find happiness. All right, so here's a few books I suggest that I use. All right, so this one was more about relationships and marriage, but I think it has a higher, a bigger self improvement use. All right, this is The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman, Dr. Gary Chapman. Now, people know this book, The 5 Love Languages. It's a very famous book. But I read it when I was single, and I thought it was so dope to read this book while you weren't with somebody, because it made you look at yourself first. Because at first it was like, hey, 5 language, this is how you're supposed to like learn about somebody else's love language. What are their 5 love? I think he mostly say people have two main ones, you know. And so let's say for me personally, it was it's been so long since I even thought about it. It was a physical touch because I like to get it on, and it was words of affirmation because I'm a sports kid. You know, I came from like attaboy. All you had to do is tell me is attaboy, and I'm great to go. My tail's wagging and shit. Attaboy, and I'm hyped up. You know. So those were my two personally. It was words of affirmation, and there's 5 of them. There's words of affirmation, physical touch, quality time, gifts, and I forgot what I actually call it, but it's like doing stuff for people.
Can you be all 5?
I think the book said something about like rare cases where you could be all 5, but it's not. Most people have 2 to 3.
I feel like everyone has all 5, but certain ones are more intense, or they go to those ones more often.
Yeah, definitely. So like, you can get me with a sweet compliment anytime, and I'm like, oh yeah, you think my smile's nice? Oh my god, oh wow, I don't know what to say. Like, there's some things I shut people down. Like my wife, for example, she's shit. Yeah. She's quality time and words of affirmation, I believe. And like, cause I'm not a gift person. Like, I hate getting gifts. Like, don't get me anything. I don't need that. You know what I mean? I don't like when you do stuff. And the other one I'm trying to explain, it's like doing stuff for people, but it's kind of like if you make somebody dinner, like serving their plates to them. I just can't remember exactly what they call it in the book right now. But that was the kind of thing like if you're somebody who likes, when you come home and the house is clean, it's like that's their way of showing somebody love. They feel appreciated when, you serve them a plate of food. You might give them a pedicure. Some couples do that for people. I don't know. Stuff like that. But that's like acts of service is what it's called. Acts of service. There you go. All right, so physical touch, acts of service, quality time, words of affirmation, and shit. Now I'm gonna forget the other one.
Gift giving.
Gifts. All right, Cam for the win. Right. So I hate gifts. Don't give me that shit. So that's how I feel. Quality time. Everybody needs quality time, but I'm like, if we don't see each other for a while, I'll be like, I'm cool. It's probably like my 3rd one. So that's me personally. Anyways, it let me learn about me first because I had no one to go try it out on. So I was like, I don't have anybody. But it also taught me how to speak to people and see how they are. So like even with my mom or my brother or like my dad, like I really got to really see those things and come from that direction. So now when I talk to people like my family or friends, I'm like, okay, this person is this kind of person. I can get them with the gift. Let me do that first or give somebody a compliment first. Most people like compliments, but some people like shy away from that, Oh, they don't know how to take a compliment in general. So I don't do that, right? I just I know this person and what they react to mostly, What are you, Cam? What do you think you are? I gave you the 5. What do you think you relate to most?
Physical touch.
Because like to get it on.
What are the other 4? It's
physical touch, quality time, gifts, words of affirmation, and acts of service.
I think it'd have to be a toss-up between words of affirmation and quality time.
See, that was a solid. Because acts of service is like, do this for me.
I don't have to come home and the house has to be clean.
Clean, a home-cooked meal and stuff like that. That's out there, though. Some people are like, are. And I was like, that's fine. Like, I have a buddy, he's gifts is one of his. He likes getting shit. And I'm like, I'm always like, that's weird.
I mean, I like getting stuff, but it's not essential.
I do that. Not. Also, I'm always like, I can go buy myself something, but
I fall into that much more.
But then, what's weird to me? I was weird that I have to open this thing and I have to like have a reaction to it. And if it doesn't meet your reaction, you're gonna be disappointed.
Yeah.
I gotta be like, oh, and I'm never like, oh snap. Like rarely am I like somebody bought me a Star Wars mug and I didn't know what it was and I was like super hyped because I'm a nerd, right? And I was like, yo, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then if it was like a generic gift, you're like, oh,
hey,
thanks.
Okay.
This is going in the cupboard.
But, yeah. Right. It's going in the cupboard. Okay. So, all right. Anyways, so I think those are ways for people to find like your own happiness. Like those are how you, and like I said, these are tools. They might not be 100% accurate. They worked for me. Okay. And then like I always people like what are you proud of? Like, hold on, I'm not gonna look in the camera for a minute, guys, but I'm still talking to you. But I was thinking like, and it's all about like the idea of self-confidence to me is like how do you see yourself? How do you feel about yourself? Right? Like that's what that is. It's not anybody else's idea of you. You're like you can't use anybody else's on the outside view of you. Like if somebody called you stupid the other day, you can't use that as your self-confidence meter. Like that doesn't matter. Like they don't exist in your self-confidence meter. You know what I mean? Is a self-confidence meter, does that work? Is that a thing does that phrase work?
Well, if not, we made it up.
Right? Here's your self-confidence meter at. We should do that. Make a little chart and then have like little levels. Like, oh, I ain't shit. No, I'm this shit. Because you can have too much self-confidence.
Yeah, I mean, there's always that case.
Yeah, you're like, all right, guy. Like, people know Keon Poli. We used to make fun of Keon, call him arrogant all the time. And Keon's a little arrogant, whatever, no matter what he wants to say. Cam, you see it, right? Come on,
he's
Cam.
also he's good though. So like, there's certain people who are like
Keon's great,
arrogant, and they're bad, and you're just like you. Have
Keon
no reason
Poley
to be that way.
is one of my best buddies, and he's great. He's a little bit arrogant, and we love it though. It's just him. He's not a douchebag by any means. So I think about being like your pride, right? Like not pride in a sense of I think that word gets mixed up too, because people like don't be prideful, and I think that gets mixed up with being proud of yourself. I think they're different, and I don't think people say that enough, because it's like, well, I should be proud, but I shouldn't be proud, and they're different. Being prideful is like a very shameful thing that can get you in trouble, because that comes like with stubbornness and all this other bullshit. But being proud of yourself, absolutely. So I think like volunteering is one thing that I always like. Just my go-to to like feel proud. And you know what, man? And it's okay. Here's my thing. It's okay to do some shit for you to feel good about. Like, that's fine, man. If you give a homeless person money for you to feel good, like, great. That person got money and you feel good about yourself. Like, that's dope. Like there was these things where like people hate when celebrities or artists go somewhere and they want to like bring a camera crew along because they're doing something. I'm like, so what? So what? You don't think these kids, like, there was a camera crew who went to Africa that like they were giving like kids just instilling like water and clean water in wells, and they're like, oh, they're just doing that so they can feel good. I'm like, you think these kids give a shit? You think these kids give a shit? They got clean water. They can be like, he's just here to make himself feel better. Kids don't give a shit. They're like, oh, hell yeah. I gave this homeless guy like clothes. Like I gave him like a bunch of clothes and stuff like that I wasn't using anyways, you know. And then my friends are dicks. My friend was like, oh, you feel good about yourself? And I was like, yeah, I do. And I'm like, that's good. That's really, really good. Like, I don't know why people ever want to make you feel bad for doing something.
Yeah, that's not healthy.
No. I'm like, yes, do that shit that makes you feel good. And like you're doing it for someone else and you're doing it for yourself. You can do both. You can do both. So I never got that point. All right. So like, and also like, whatever it is, man, go visit time with your grandmother. All right. I lost both my grannies. I wish they were here, and I wish I spent more time with them. But there's times when I would go see them, I was like, I did something here. I feel good about myself. I spent time with my grandmothers, and they appreciate it, you know. But that's great. Volunteer. What else can you do? What else is there? Like, start a little league team. All right. Whatever you do, go coach for free. Just go do something. Go do something, guys. Go do something. All right, so that's one of my other things. Let me run this other one real quick. So there's this book called, and it's a very famous book also. I don't know, have you heard this, Cam? The Four Agreements. You ever heard the Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz?
Sounds a little familiar. I've not read it though.
It's huge. So all right, so here are the Four Agreements. Okay, the Four Agreements are be impeccable, and I'll break them down a little bit. Be impeccable with your words, and like I said, when I say I'll break them down, it's my interpretation, not necessarily his interpretation, but how I use it is what helps me. All right, be impeccable with your words. Don't take anything personally. Amen to that, man. Amen to that. Don't make assumptions, and always do your best. All right, so. This guy, Don Miguel Ruiz, he has this thing about so it's kind of like an ancient society kind of thing about the Toltec natives, I believe, if I have that right, the Toltec people. And these are kind of like their rules of living like a spiritual life, okay? So, but each one of these is like so important that people overlook all the time. Where we at on time, Cam?
28 minutes.
Damn it. I'm definitely going to go over again. All right, but being impeccable with your words. It's 2 counts of this, man, because we always know this is like biblical. This is always a word that, you know, you can, the tongue is always like the thing that's like what you say. I don't believe this. Here's the thing. I don't believe that what you say you can manifest. I don't believe that necessarily. I do and I don't, but I don't believe that what I say is necessarily going to happen. I believe it's all about action. Like what I do is going to make something happen. That's what I believe fully. But I do think that what you say to people, how you say things to people, have way more effect than you think. The whole thing about sticks and stones, won't break my bones, but words will never hurt me. It's not true. Words definitely do hurt people. And I've been hurt by people's words, and I don't take shit personally. But you know, there's times I'm like, hey man, yeah, that kind of hurt my feelings. And it's hard to hurt my feelings. It is hard to hurt my feelings. There's 3 people who can hurt my feelings: my mom, my wife, and probably my baby. But she can't talk yet. All right, but it's very hard to hurt my feelings. Okay. So be impeccable with your words, man. Like, and on the one side, I'm like, how you talk to, and I think this is over, like, how you talk to yourself. How you talk to yourself, to me, is number 1. Like, what do you say to yourself in your head? You know, I have enough self-confidence. I joke, like, you guys hear me talk bad about myself, call myself an idiot all the time. But I know what I mean, and I have enough self-confidence to say that to myself. Like, I don't take that personally to myself, but I know there are people who aren't there. And, like, you need to big up yourself. You need to let you know, like, I talk to myself like I am my best friend. Like, I really do. Like, I do love Chaz Rodgers. Like, I love me. I love me a lot. I'm one of my favorite people. Like, I might be number one. My daughter's really close. You know what I mean? So it's neck and neck with my favorite people. She gets on my nerves sometimes. I rarely get on mine. Right? But I'm like, that's how I talk to I tell myself, like, Dad, you are great. You are talented. Like, I tell myself this shit all the time. I don't look in the mirror and do it. I don't go like, hey, you are strong. You are reliable. I don't do that. But just on a daily basis, I'm like, you know what, man, you're pretty dope, man. I have a good time with you. I'm like, I have a good time with you too, bro. Thank you. I do this all the time. So I think, like, being impeccable with your words is for you first. How you talk to yourself. What do you think about yourself? And change it. And like I said, man, if you think you're fat, if you think you're ugly, if you think you're stupid, if you think you're immature, that's going to be how you operate all the time. That's literally how you're going to operate. And that's how you're going to show yourself off to other people. You know what I mean? Like, you can't fake your confidence. Really. People walking around with their chest out, but you know.
You can tell when someone's faking it.
Yeah, man. And you can't hold it up for long. How long can you hold that? Like, you can't hold that facade, bro. Like, don't. But literally, and so I'm telling my mom's business, but my mom, like, her and my dad went through this divorce, and she was having this depression. I'm like, she's like, maybe it's my fault, and I did this, and I should be like that. And I'm like, yo, why are you telling yourself this stuff? I'm like, why don't you try telling yourself the opposite stuff? Like whatever it is, I'm like, tell yourself the opposite. Like, tell yourself, like, yo, we just weren't meant to be, but I am great. Not that shit is your fault or that you wish you did this. And I'm like, no, you can literally tell yourself. Your brain is so malleable. Like, you can literally retrain your brain. We learn stuff all the time. We relearn stuff all the time. You know what I mean? And I'm like, and it's the way you talk to yourself. This guy was like, your brain's like a computer, you know what I mean? And, like, all day long. So, like, unless you, like, shut down your computer, I can close my laptop and it's still running, right? And all these programs are still running, right, Cam?
Yep.
And it's always running. And that's our brain. No matter what we're doing, our brain is always running. And those things are always in the background. You know what I mean? So it's like what you tell yourself is always there. But, like, it's like you can't believe the bullshit that you tell yourself. You have to say this, but it's going to happen. That's going to happen. You're going to believe what you tell yourself. So tell yourself the right things. Talk to yourself the right way first. Be impeccable with your words. And then I would say number 2 is how you talk to people, what you say out there, you know.
Well, I think because it goes hand in hand. How you talk to yourself will reflect how you talk to other people.
Absolutely. But I know, like, I'm going to be hard on myself than I'm ever going to be on Cam. I'm never going to be like, yo, Cam, get your shit together, right? I can say that to myself, but I'll be like, hey, Cam, you know, we were a little slow with doing that. Do you think maybe next time? I would say something like that. You know what I mean? But it's like, that's how I would want to be talked to also by Cam. Right, Cam?
Exactly.
But Cam is perfect. He don't miss. You know what I'm saying? Cam does not miss. So we don't never have those issues. All right, so that's that one. And then, side note, and being impeccable with your words is also like the whole kind of the secret thing. Like, if you say it will come, but nothing happens without actions, which is why I said I believe that actions are, you know, I look at that secondly, because what you do speaks more to me than what you say. All right. Don't take anything personally. I think I'm a champion at this, man. I'm a champion. I used to take things personally all the time. Then I realized, like myself, everybody is idiots. And I was like, yeah, man, like, you ever see like your parents, like, or somebody in your family, and you go like, oh, this person is wild. Like, especially when you grow up, you think they have it all together, and you're like, this person's a psycho. This person's a nut.
No, yeah, no. When I'm thinking of when I was a teenager, even like 10 or 12, and I knew someone who was 24. I'm like, oh, they have their life together, everything like that. And then I'm looking at myself. I'm like, nah, no, nobody does.
Nobody does. Like, even have you seen somebody like much older, like even in like your like the 40s or something, you thought they had some shit figured out, and you're like, oh, this person's still out here trying to figure it out. Yo, you know what I see all this time? Anytime somebody goes viral. And it's like, I'm like, this person is 50-something doing dumb shit, you know? And they go viral for dumb shit. And I'm like, oh, this person doesn't have, but I'm like, that's somebody else's family out there. I'm like, that's somebody's mom, brother. And I'm like, that sucks. Like, these people are out here. They're in our families, all this good stuff, right? But anyways, I realized, like, so when I say everybody's idiots, it's just because, like, no one's perfect out here, and we all know that, you know what I mean? And I'm like, it doesn't surprise me if somebody wants to say something stupid to me, or they say something, especially with the comments on YouTube and shit. Mm-hmm. It's comments on Instagram. Somebody just says some random ass shit, ain't got nothing to do with nothing, just because they can. I'm like, I'm not ever gonna take that something. Nobody who can ever hurt my feelings and me not know you.
Well, and if you do, and it's on your post, just hit delete.
And just delete it. But you know it's not real. I'm like, that's not a real thing. Somebody, look, I'm a comedian. We roast each other all the time. That's what me and my friends do. We make fun of each other from night up to sun up to sundown. That's what we do. We make fun of each other all day. I could never take that stuff personally because I also know where they're coming from. You know, I know they have a good heart. I know they love me generally. I know they like me generally. That's what we do. Like, a stranger's not going to hurt my feelings. I don't know. How do you don't affect my life. Why am I going to let you hurt my feelings? I don't take none of that personally. You'd have to you'd have to hurt my family maliciously for me to take it personally. You have to hold my daughter hostage, you know what I mean, and threaten to pull out her little curls for me to take it personally. Then I'm like, you vile bastard. All right, let's move on. Don't make assumptions, man. Shut the fuck up. That's what that is. Mind your business. Shut the fuck up until you know the goddamn truth. This is how I translated this in his book. He didn't say any of this stuff. But I'm like, yo, you put your foot in your mouth. You make yourself look like an asshole all the time, and we make our assumptions and without knowing all the details and stuff like that. If it's something that's pertinent to you, ask some questions. If it ain't got nothing to do with you, or you don't see somebody being hurt, yo, shut up and mind your business. I live by that. Mind your business. Mind your business. Shut the fuck up. Keep walking. All right? Unless you see somebody about to be hurt, then you should probably say something. You should probably be like, hey, are you hurting that person? Are you hurt? Oh, no, I'm good, man. Oh. You know what I'm saying? Yo, we've been shooting stuff. Like, I've done like a bunch of videos and stuff like that. You know how many people will come outside and try to call the police or something? Like, I see such and something. Why don't y'all just come over? Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm a black dude in America. I was playing Pokemon Go once, and somebody called the police on me. I was like, why didn't you just say something? Just like, well, I didn't want to. Like, you call the police? That's the first thing we do? That was in Burbank, by the way. But I was like, come on, man. And, man, I was going door to door. So let me tell you this story real quick. The first time I've ever got arrested, it's happened a few times. First time I ever got arrested, I was in Brighton, Michigan. So fuck that entire city. All right, I was in Brighton, Michigan, which is like a really rich suburb. Okay, and I was doing these I'm in a full suit. All right, and I'm 20, so I'm all thin and handsome, and I had all my hair and shit. Right? I had waves and a nice hairline. This is as nice as you can get. All right, and I'm going door to door doing these little sales with these little pizza coupons. You know what I mean? I'm like, bing bong. Hey, how you doing? My name is Chaz. Right? I'm in pizza coupons. Right? That's what I did. And I'm walking around with a smile on my face, and a cop pulls up. And I'm like, hey, officer, how you doing? Get some pizza coupons? Right? Nice jokes. And he was like, oh, man, yeah, we just got a call that somebody suspicious in the neighborhood is around. I'm like, well, hey, man, if I see him, you'd be the first person I'll let you know, right? And he was like, yeah, can I see some ID? And I'm like, oh, I'm the suspicious person. I'm like, what? I was like, how can this be? And so now I'm getting frisked. I'm getting checked. They're checking my ID, right? They still took me in after they didn't because they were like, well, we don't have you on record. I was like, because I'm not a goddamn criminal. I've never been arrested. That's why you don't have me on record.
Goddamn.
Right? But now there's everybody outside. There's everybody outside who's watching me. And I'm like, yo, I'm literally going door to door. Like, I talked to the entire neighborhood. This person really could have been like, hey, what are you doing? But instead, they called the police who arrested me because I don't have a record. Come on.
No words.
Come on, man. Anyways, don't make assumptions. Mind your goddamn business. Shut the fuck up. All right. And then always do your best. I feel like this one is self-explanatory. But it's like, do your best for you. And I don't think, actually, let's dive in a little bit. I don't think people ultimately know how to do their best or what that entails. So I told this story before about a work ethic when I first met my man Tony Baker, and when I thought I was doing like a lot of work, I was like going out doing like a shows maybe like once a night. I was really trying to hit it, and then when I met Tony, he was doing like 3 to 5 in a night, and I was like, what? Like, just shows out here performing or open mics. I was like, how are you doing this? And so what I thought was my best wasn't even close to what I could be doing. So. And it's the same like Kobe Bryant. I was never a fan of watching him play. I was like, Kobe's amazing. Don't get me wrong, but Kobe's mindset was like so much better to me than him actually like on the court. Because you always saw this guy who didn't pass and all this other stuff. But Kobe Bryant, man, is somebody like anytime I ever want to go to like work ethic, like I'll go watch a Kobe interview and I would like those are the things I'm like, that's that kind of mindset. And it's like, this is how you do your best. Like, it's 24 hours in a day to do your best. If you're an athlete, whatever it is, it's like, are you sleeping the right way? Are you getting enough sleep? Tom Brady's one of the same ways. The cat goes to sleep by like 8 o'clock or something like that. He's always on his nutrition. He doesn't take time off. Mayweather's the same way. Outside of beating on women, Mayweather's work ethic, he never takes breaks. He trains every single day, even when he's been retired. Like, I look at that, like, that's a work ethic of doing your best. It's like, how else can I maximize this? I heard James Harden practices after games. And I was like, damn, that's doing your best. Instead of going out to eat, all this other stuff, he's still practicing right after. He's watching tape. He's practicing the stuff he just did. And I was like, that's doing your best. That's literally trying to find ways to get better, trying to find space and opportunity to get better. And I looked at that from like doing stand-up and writing. I'm like, well, what else can I be doing in this time to actually get better? That's doing your best. Does that make sense, Cam?
Yes.
All right. We talked about a lot right here. Where were we at, Cam? How much time were we at?
40 minutes.
Damn it, Cam. I knew that one was going to go over. All right. So, yeah. That's it, man. And my last thing I would say is like have an attitude of gratitude all the time. I didn't really plan for that to rhyme, but that's not a unusual saying. But I would say like my whole thing about like self-confidence is I'm always thankful. I'm always grateful. Always. I'm always great. I'm thankful to Cam. I'm thankful for Transit. Shout out to Transit. I didn't say shout out to Transit yet. But that makes me feel great is when I know we live such amazing life, especially if you're in America, man. Like, my life is I'm not rich by any means. I have a lot of fun. I complain when my phone is running slow, right? like I have an amazing, ridiculous life, and it's not grand. You know what I mean? It's just really easy compared. I complain when there's no parking. We complain when Uber takes a while. You know what I mean? Like we live these great, wonderful lives, and I don't think we say it enough. Like I'm so thankful all the time, and that always makes me feel good and knowing that, like, yo, your life's amazing, bro. You're like, if you're literally watching this, your life is amazing. Your life is amazing if you're watching this. I spent years and years. Look, I was homeless. I was picking fruit off of trees, and I was so thankful that there was a lemon tree for me to eat. I was so hyped. I was like, yeah, boy, I'm eating off the land, baby. I was so excited, and I was like, I'm so grateful, and I'm like, I never felt bad. I never felt down on myself. You know what I mean? Like that sounds like a time when you would feel bad about yourself. Like, oh, I'm homeless. I felt great, man. I was just so thankful that I always had something. You know what I mean? And there's so many people out there with nothing. All right, anyways, that's it. All right. We did 40 minutes on how to build self-confidence. So go do something. Go volunteer. Check out these books. The 4 Agreements, the 5 Love Languages, Find Your Love Language. Actually read the books, guys. Just learn more about yourself and how you like to be treated and talked to, all that good stuff. And, take care of your love life, your family, and your work to fill in your happiness. All right, comment, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your grandmother, tell everybody, and we'll see you next week.